The first tip is to keep your projects simple. When trying to create multiple layouts in a short period of time, we need to focus on just the photos. On this first layout, you'll see I used a sticker title. I included 6 photos, and then I added more sticker embellishments and finished the layout by writing the location on the far right side. Now with this layout, you'll notice that there are 8 photos included. I was able to really maximize this page. So around the 8 photos, I applied 4 decorative tags, and then I put a title sticker in the middle, and I put a few stickers in the corner. And that's it. I really allowed the photos to speak for themselves. Now with this next layout, I included 5 photos by cropping them in even squares, and then I placed them on a large red mat made out of cardstock. In the middle, I adhered a very simple tag by cutting some triangles. I outlined them with a pen and turned them into a Christmas tree, and then put a metal Merry Christmas at the bottom, and then just centered it in the middle of the photos. I finished the layout with a title, each letter matted with circles, and then I finished it with foam tape to create dimension on the layout. Now this page, I have one photo, and I kept it very simple, as you can see. I matted the photo with patterned paper, and I quickly sanded the edges for some interest. On the top, I included a simple title with pre-made letters, and then I used some border stickers. In the middle, I stamped my daughter's name, her age, and where the photo was taken. This is one way to save a bunch of time. I love to journal, and I think it's very important to include details. However, when archiving holidays and birthdays or anything that's once a year, it's okay to minimize your journaling. Also notice I made a few stamping errors, but they're minimal. Again, to save some time, I didn't worry about the minor imperfections. The layout looks very nice, and it's also one of the ways to complete your projects is not to be too critical. I finished the layout by including Jolie stickers on the very bottom. This next layout is 4 photos matted on black paper with a red background. I added a gold corner sticker and 3 words in the middle. I angled the stickers to add some interest and for a nice completion. Now with this layout, I was able to include 6 photos on this patterned paper. Notice I only matted the 2 photos on the right side. The photos on the left side I cropped into circles. Now this is a great way to use those photos that seem to have a lot of unnecessary background, yet still capture a memory. I completed the layout by writing the date on the very top, and then on the very bottom I was able to include the location, and then I wrote a little bit more detail in the middle, and I was finished. Very simple, very quickly done. This next layout was very simple, very quick. The background paper is also printed, and I was able to include the 3 photos. There's 1 large and 2 small circles. Notice how I combined the large photo and then put the 2 circles below it at an angle. Then I added some embellishments around them. Again, this was a great way to complete a very simple layout with a lot of interest. I finished the layout by journaling on the bottom left corner in my own handwriting. Very quick, very easy. So on this next layout, I used a sticker title on patterned paper. I was able to include 5 photos and embellished with simple cardstock stickers. Very simply done, very tasteful, very pretty, very quick. This is the front of my album. Again, notice how very simple and yet well done it is. The tag is very simply made with a red cardstock. I stamped the image with Versamark ink, and then I heat embossed it with gold powder. I added a small poinsettia tag, and then I wrote Christmas 2001 to 2005, so I knew what years were in the album. Notice this album includes 4 years of memories. I was able to complete this album in 3 nights. Okay, my second tip is to use pre-made embellishments. Your time is an investment too. As a matter of fact, this picture is supposed to show that we're trying to bring ourselves a little bit of sanity. So I know a lot of you, including myself, like to make my embellishments. However, in order to complete my projects, I need to sometimes invest in things that are already made for me. My third tip is to find a designated space. Believe it or not, you don't need a large craft room in order to be able to work on your projects. Now here is just a small desk where you can have a nice organized caddy on the top, which you can put away either underneath the desk or off to the side or in a closet. But this desk would also be able to hold like all of your journaling pens inside, and it's just a small designated area. Right here I want to show you a rolling cart that I use. It carries a lot of my large items, and all I have to do is roll it out when I want to use it, and then I'm able to roll it away when I'm finished. This is really helpful if you don't have a permanent place to do your crafting. Here's another cart. Again, I'm able to roll it out and then roll it away when I'm finished, and it has multiple drawers and everything stays organized and ready for when I am able to bring out my stuff and be able to complete my project. In addition to the cards, here are some paper organizers that I'm able to keep all of my cardstock. And again, if you don't have a designated place, these go perfectly inside of little cabinets or closets. And if you do have a craft room, it keeps your papers perfectly organized. Again, easy to take out when needed and put away when we don't need to use them. Now here's a picture of two large tables, and for some of you, you might have the privilege of having a large craft room. Over many, many years, I finally was able to get my own craft room, but it took many years. So when we're first starting out, we might have to just compromise and make do with what we have. But if possible, our goal is always to have our own room. Now my fourth tip is to focus on one or two hobbies. I myself have many hobbies and I love to do various things, but when we are under, a restriction of time, we really need to just focus on the one or two hobbies that bring us the most joy. Whether it's reading, making cards, sewing, scrapbooking, painting, baking, we love to do it all, but when we only have a short period of time, then we need to really just decide which two are most important. My fifth and most important tip is to schedule time and not feel guilty about it. You are responsible for your happiness. We have our careers where we could be stay-at-home parents, but after doing the 9 to 5 and it's time to come home, we've got to make time for ourselves. We're always available to our family, our parents, maybe we're a son or a daughter, but we also need to put on the you time. We wear many hats, and so it's our responsibility to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves. And so we need to schedule our time just as if it was a doctor's appointment or a very important event. Our time is valuable. We might not be able to craft every day, but at least maybe once or twice in a given month. I hope you found this video helpful, and if so, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook.